Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking you through the vendor component that's included with Survival Game Kit V2. So the vendor component allows the player to buy and sell items to a vendor, and the player can buy items with other items, and the vendor can sell items to the player for the price of other items. So to edit a vendor's component, we just select the actor that it's on. So for this video, I'm just going to be using the master vendor build part. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to open up the blueprint here. You can also find it by searching for master vendor, and you'll find the master vendor blueprint. So in here we can select the vendor component, and that will bring up the settings for our vendor. So the first settings we have here are the stock. So we can basically have it so that items have a amount of stock that the vendor has. We can select so that the vendor will restock, and how often the vendor will restock his items. So the next one are buy list. These are the items that the player can buy from the vendor. So we can go into here. So to add a new item, you simply just click the plus button, and that creates a new entry. And we can click the drop down, and we can first we can set the item. So this is the item that the player is buying. So we can drop that down again. You can see the amount. This is the amount of the item that the player will receive when they buy this item. We can click the item again, and here we can set what item we want the player to be buying from the vendor. So we can set anything we want. I'll pick a health drink. And I'll set the amount to 1. Next we've got the price. So this is where we set what items the vendor wants for the item we're buying. So it's exactly the same. The only difference is we need to set the data table, and that needs to be set to the master item list. And then we can select any item we want the vendor to charge. So I could set it to I'll set it to wood, and we'll set the amount to 1. So our vendor wants 1 wood for our health drink. If we wanted to add additional items, we can just click the add, and we've added another item here, and we can set the item again and the amount as well. So that's where our price is, and then stock is how many of the sell item, the item that the vendor is actually selling us, he has in stock. And then next we've got our sell list. So sell list is the items that the player can sell to the vendor. So we can open this up, and it works pretty much in exactly the same way as the buy list. So we can set the item that the player can sell to the vendor. So this is set to stone by default. Then we can set the price. So this is what the vendor will give the player for our stone item. So you can set that in here. You've got the item, and then the amount that the player will get of that item. If we want to add another item to the list, we can click the add button here, and we can select another item. Again, if the data table is ever empty, just search for master item list, and you can set it there, and then you'll be able to select what item you want. I'm just going to remove this one. So next we have category. So categories are when we hit play, I'll show you quickly. When we hit play and we interact with the vendor, you can see we've got an item, a category here. This will set what category our sell item is in. So if we go back, we can set it to be in the all category and the resources category. If we wanted to add another category, we could just add that in here. And if we want to remove, we can just click the down arrow and hit the little delete. As a side note, the vendor doesn't have the inventory or doesn't use the inventory details or the crafting details, so you don't need to worry about those, nor does it use random item spawning or the destruction. All of the settings are pretty much just the buy, sell, and the restock up here. So hopefully you found that useful. I will say one other thing. If you want to change the icon that's used when looking through the items in the vendor, you can go to the item list, open that up, and whenever you select an item, you can go to UI details, and in here you'll see a vendor icon. So you can set the specific icon you want to use when it's in a vendor listing. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this gives you a better idea of how vendors work. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching.